Okay, now we are going to go ahead and color our optical illusion swirls. Now notice how I already started so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. All the A's are going to be the same colors, okay? So A are going to be the same color schemes. All the B's are going to be the same color schemes as well, okay? Now, I'm going to go over you about coloring. It's very important that you go over and make sure you do your best in coloring and make it as solid as you can and not leaving too much white space. See how I'm going back over my white spaces in there? Now, when you're coloring, make sure you start. One is going to be white, the other is going to be the solid color, white, solid color. Take your time so you don't mess up. Look what you're doing. White, solid color. So go ahead and go in and color. Alright, one of the ways you can do it is maybe by starting on the outside edges, going slowly. Okay. See, I go on the outside edges. Slowly coloring it, making sure I got all my edges nice and neat. It's very important to make sure it's really colored all the way. Then you can go inside and go ahead and color the middle. Okay, so there you go. Make sure it's colored solidly. Now, I want to review about your colors. You're going to go ahead and choose complementary colors. We should have already done an exercise about complementary colors. Colors on a color wheel that are the opposite of each other. They're across from each other. And they are complement. When they're put next to each other, they create what they call like a movement, like they are moving, because they're so complement that they make each other stand out. So you're going to choose a color scheme. Mine's blue. What would be the complementary of blue? It should be orange. Now you have a choice of doing blue, orange, purple, yellow, red, green. Now doesn't mean that when those order I just said doesn't mean that it has to be green and red or red, green, but make sure you have complementary colors for each of the colors scheme. So if you're going to do, let's say, yellow and purple, you can decide, okay, do you want your purples to be the A or do you want your purples to be the B? Whichever you choose, you have to stick to that letter and color all through your artwork. So if you say purple is going to be all your A's, then all A's should be purple. For instance, I'm doing blue, so all my blues, alright, should be A. So make sure it's the same color for each letter. Okay, the color scheme, the plan of colors. Now, go ahead and select your colors. If you have not already decided what complementary colors you're going to use. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something else. As you can see, I've already finished one of the lines that are white, that's not colored, and a solid color, white, colored, white. You get the rest of the pattern. Now, what you're going to do in the white, this is very important now. Let's start from the top here. On the edges here, where they meet, anywhere there's a line that comes together like these, in the white, you're going to create a shadow. To do that, with the pencil, you can color very lightly on the edge, very lightly, making a side, going up, not all the way up, just kind of like a small light color, like that. See, it's not going very up into it, just on the edge there. Maybe about, I'm going to use my pinky, maybe just about half my pinky, or a nail size, okay? So you're going to do that for all the white in here. So on the white on this side again, you're going to create a shadow by lightly shading. I'm not pressing very hard if you notice. Not like this. Very lightly on the edge only, not going all the way in. Same thing if this side, if it meets another letter and it's white, lightly shade in the edge. And that's all you're doing. You're not coloring it hard, you're not coming all the way in. Just lightly create the edge like this. It's just a color. See? You're going to do that all the way through. Same thing for here in the middle. Just lightly just create a small edge, maybe even just a line. And that's it. And that's all you're doing to create the three-dimensional look. Now, this is important. I'm going to go ahead and move ahead, but I want you first to finish all the A's, coloring them in this style. You can push pause. Okay, now when you are doing the orange, you're going to go ahead and do every other one. With this one, if you notice how I finished it, you see how these two are the same? Well, you're going to do the same thing as well. You're going to color every other color. Now, I suggest maybe you might want to start with the in here to be orange. First one be orange, white, orange, white, orange. Now, when I did that, what you're trying to do is make it, if you could, somewhere. It doesn't have to be exactly, because if you notice, this is white and it's kind of touching into this one, this is blue. But to the point where if the first one in your blue is starting out with a light, then the orange is going to be a solid. And if you did the reversal, the first one was a blue and this was white, then this would be a reversal. Okay? I'm going to show you. See how that's starting? Here we go. Right? Coloring the edges again. Alright, now make sure you stay inside your lines that you have created. Don't start coloring just because you're going to lose the effect and the illusion of the swirl. So that one's solid. You're going to skip, go to the next one, and color as well. And the edges. Now, if you really want this to look popping out, it'll take a little bit more time. You're going to do, if you want, see how the curved edges are going like this? If you color, taking your time, in the same direction, like that, see how I'm going? In the same curve way, just taking your time, it'll make it more like it's going to pop out. So just how you drew those curved lines going in this direction, you can color the same way. Now that's to make it more, if you want to make it really look like it's popping out. Okay. Now you can see it kind of coming together. Alright, I'm going to do this last one here. I'm going to go really quick, but you're going to do yours better than mine. You're going to take your time and really color But I'm going to do this quickly so I can show you the next step and focus on your artwork. Alright, there you go. See? Now, you're going to do the same thing you did with the blue and the orange. In the white area, on the very small edge, not very wide, you're going to take a very small line and very lightly color a shadow in, like that edge there. Not very far, as you can see. You can barely see it. You're just very lightly coloring an edge to create the shadow. See? If you notice how I'm coloring it in the same, again, direction of the curved lines, if you want, you can just do the curved lines as well, just drawing the same curved lines going around. See? And there we go. See? There you go. And this is how you can create your artwork. And you're going to finish all your oranges that are the bee, or whatever color you use for bee. You're going to do the same for each of the bees. Alright, take your time. Go back. If you're done, finish early. Use your time wisely. Go back and maybe get the same colors and go back over and make sure you make it extra solid over some white areas. Look for small white areas you might have missed. See there? I missed some white areas. I got some there. And really get in there and make it really colorful, really solid and vibrant. The more that you have less white in there, the more solid it'll look. And you really want this to look neat so you can show it off. Okay?